be honest with you, man, I'm in love with our intro song. It's so soulful, don't you agree?
Oh, I love it too.
I love it. It just, man, I don't even know what to say. Listen, welcome back. Welcome. You are watching another episode of course, you get it, Through the Wire.
Oh, we made it to episode 2?
Yeah, we're not on the network, so we didn't get canceled yet. Yeah, we're still here.
Yeah, we're still here.
As long as YouTube lets us post for free, we're going to keep making it.
Hey, as long as we don't mess it up.
I mean, hey, look, we're learning, right? We're not even using copyright-free music now, you know what I'm saying? We got a pretty logo. I'm your host, Alan A.B. It's your host, Ness.
What's up?
Welcome back. I'm actually, I don't even know what to say. I'm more excited about the intro than I am about my fantasy team right now. How was your week 2, bro?
I came through one win in one league and lost in another, but it happens.
50-50 is not bad. Hey, I definitely can't front. This week was tumultuous. So many mistakes made. I had a big issue with the fact that I sat Jordan Mason before I realized that Christian McCaffrey was going to be
on IR.
I was able to add him to my lineup on Sunday, but I would have repositioned my whole entire team differently. I started. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Shakir.
Oh no, Shakir. Khalil Shakir. Yeah.
Let me see if I'm saying his name right. So, last week I was looking at how well the Buffalo Bills played, and I was excited. I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and put Shakir in. Khalil Shakir. He's one of the 2 top wide receivers over there in Buffalo. And
him and Keon Coleman.
Yeah, I went against my own best judgment. I know for sure I should not have started this guy. And I'm not going to lie, he's still somebody I think should be put on your team. I don't want to say I regret picking him up. Definitely happy I picked him up, but I'm upset that I that I put him in the starting position over somebody like Jordan Mason.
To be honest, who was expecting Buffalo to run around, just run over?
She's Miami at that. I thought that was going to be a shootout. The way they did. I thought that was going to be an air game. I completely thought that was going to be an air game. I thought that was going to be a high-scoring game. It was straight up.
And also, all thoughts and prayers go out to Tua.
Yeah, man, that was ugly. I hate to see it.
And it's the fact that it was Damar Hamlin.
That part stuck out.
It's crazy.
You are 100% right.
Crazy.
That out of all the people that could have hit him on a play like that, that one shocked the hell out of me. If anyone's not aware, Damar Hamlin is the defensive back that also suffered a really close call quite a few years ago.
I think it's what was that, Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, and we thought that his career was over, and he luckily enough he's able to make it back to the game. But our hearts and our prayers go out to Tua. I think this personally might be time for him to just sit back and just take his.
Yeah.
I would take this as an exit.
It's his 4th concussion in football in general.
Yeah.
3rd in the league. He had 1 in college as well.
Yeah.
I think for just for his own future, he needs to step away.
I mean, yeah. Well, how much was his deal? $90 million?
Something like that.
Yeah. Look, you're not complaining. You're not missing anything, bro.
Guaranteed money, you got it.
Guaranteed. Yeah. This weekend was interesting for a few reasons. I before we jump into the games and everything, I want to say the one thing that stuck out to me overall, as a whole with the league these 2 weeks, I would say, the lack of focus on the passing game and the immense amount of focus on the run game. I feel like the run game and the short passing game has been more the focus this year. I don't think I've seen a lot of huge, big yard touchdowns. I've been seeing a lot more.
That's the Saints.
Well, that's they are the exception to the rule. Cowboys, you guys suck. Wow, what you guys I don't even know how.
Boys.
You guys let the Saints march in just like that. You guys got sodomized. for lack of better words.
That's the PC way of doing it. Yeah.
They didn't even take you on a date first. They just treated you like the dirty horse you are.
No lube.
The Cowboys don't have any running game anyway, so I'm sorry. I don't even want to stay.
You don't even see this game.
I don't even want to talk about this right now. All I know is, look, I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of the kicking this year. I'm looking at it like this. There's no
Kickers are a premium this year.
I don't know which way is up anymore.
Kickers are a premium.
The tight ends are not tight ending. The tight ends don't even exist anymore. Let's do I start here?
And then we had our exceptions this week for that too.
Shit.
I guess we'll talk about those later.
For anyone who checked out episode 1, I just want to say thank you. We really appreciate you guys. I hope you guys were able to get some helpful tips from the first episode. If not, we definitely got some more for you, and we have a packed episode laid out for episode 2. I don't want to go in too far. I know just wanted to start by getting an idea, like, some of the plays or some of the things that stuck out from week 2 for you.
Well, what stood out for me in week 2, honestly, is that the Cowboys suck.
That's an understatement.
How you gonna let the Saints come into your home field and drop 44 on you?
Saints came marching in.
You let Derek Carr put 243 yards with 2 touchdowns on your head. He 11 for 16. He didn't even have to pass. He only passed 16 times. That means Alvin Kamara dropped 115 yards with 3 touchdowns.
That's crazy.
Where is the rushing defense at?
None.
Your vaunted defense, where is it at?
They don't have one. I think that they didn't show up on Sunday, at least, if they do have one. I definitely looked at the game, and I was wondering if we were going to see one of those miracle comebacks from the Cowboys. Because, I'm not going to lie, I'll be guilty of this. I looked at Derek Carr, and I liked what I saw. I actually like what I saw all season.
2 weeks in a row.
For the last 2 weeks, I like what I'm seeing out of Derek Carr. I really think he's going to surprise a lot of people by the end of the year. He's looking like he's ready to put on for the city of New Orleans. I think he's going to feel – I think – all right.
He's their new Drew Brees.
Here's the thing, right? and this is just a wild guess. This could be – I'm going to save this moment, and I hope that this theory goes somewhere. But Derek Carr is going to make you pay for all the teams that you guys shipped him off to and made him feel like he wasn't great anymore. I think he's about to take the New Orleans Saints to not the Super Bowl, but they're going to go to the playoffs this year in hopes of making the Super Bowl. Because you know what? Knowing that the Super Bowl is coming to your city and that you're an underdog, I think that puts a little bit of a battery in his back. I think knowing that the Super Bowl is coming to New Orleans this year, he's not even someone that people respect or take serious as a contender. And he's actually trying to put the league on notice this year. I like what I'm seeing out of Derek Carr.
Well, if he's trying to put the league on notice, he's in the proper division to do it because the NFC South sucks.
Oh, it's so open.
It's wide open.
It's a hooker on Hunt's Point. You have no problem getting in there.
And with the way that they started out the season.
That sounds crazy. I don't know anything about this. I saw this on an HBO documentary.
He's just saying things you saw on television.
I thought this was a safe place for kids. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, that's not going to work. Kids.
I forgot it's not the other podcast. Let me stay in pocket here. I'm a retired 39-year-old. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm a ball of emotion. I'm sorry.
Keep messing around, you'll have to back to work.
Next snowball. Oh, God. Don't you say that word around me. I'm nervous. Word. Hey, chill. The power of Christ compels you. Get an exorcism. But week 1 and 2 for me. It's funny bringing up Carr and the Cowboys. Week 1, what stuck out to me was honestly Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
I really am impressed with what I'm seeing out of Baker. He's really matured. I think that, what do you call him, the $1 million man?
Yeah.
The $90 million, the $100 million man?
Yep.
Listen, Baker Mayfield has been putting on a clinic these last 2 weeks. I'm actually really happy to see the chemistry that him and Mike Evans have, built up. Him and Godwin have developed. Like, I really feel like his team trusts him, and I feel like he's really developed that leadership position that he he needs to be in. I know it was hard to come in and fill the shoes of Tom Brady. I mean, I'm pretty sure it wasn't easy, but they didn't make him. I don't think they gave him a hard time. I feel like last year we saw him starting to develop with them, and we see more product of that development now. Looking at Baker Mayfield play,
he definitely took him to the playoffs last year. So
that too, first year in playoff run, says a lot.
And a lot of people wrote him off.
Definitely.
So he definitely earned his money.
Number wise, I know what you're gonna say. Baker Mayfield's numbers didn't look crazy. 185 isn't amazing. 12 out of 19 doesn't look stellar. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. However, that doesn't really tell the whole story. Like, you know, looking at Godwin catches 7 receptions, 117 yards. Baker's basically, they were in control of the game for the most part, so they didn't really need to, like, play the ball in the air by that much. They actually did a lot with, like, spreading the ball around through the rushing game. And the rushing didn't look amazing. Like, Bucky didn't do a great job. Rashad White wasn't stellar. You know, actually, the funny thing is Baker Mayfield had the most rushing yards in the whole entire team. So, it's like, real talk, I just feel like Baker's done a great job at, like, staying in the game. It wasn't an easy game. The Lions are not an easy team. I don't think anybody really, like, understands how competitive the Lions are.
Oh, yeah, no, this was a major upset.
It was. So,
because the Lions have Super Bowl aspirations, so it's definitely like a major upset that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were able to come in there and win.
Very crazy. Even Jared Goff, man, 307 yards is impressive. No touchdowns though, 2 interceptions, crazy. He's got some work. He's got some work ahead of him. Like, they're 1-1, so they still got a chance to keep going. But yeah.
And that follows the backfield with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery.
Yeah.
I mean, both of them are going to get an opportunity, but
it's looking more like
Montgomery got the touchdown,
yeah,
but Gibbs got the yards.
It's a toss-up. It's a toss-up.
But Gibbs has if Gibbs has a touchdown with 84 yards,
yeah.
Oh, you had a great weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. What else stuck out for you for week 1? Week 2, I'm sorry. What else stuck out in week 2? Honestly, you know, aside from the unfortunate injuries, there's a lot of things that also stuck out for me for week 2. Honestly, I feel like I've noticed, and let me know if I'm bugging, but in PPR leagues at least, I'm noticing that there's more running backs putting up big games than wide receivers. Am I crazy in saying that?
No, you're not. We got Breece Hall and Braylon Allen for the Jets having great days, being involved in rushing and the passing game. So if you have a running back that's seeing anywhere from like 4 to 6 receptions a game.
Yep.
On top of whatever production they're getting on the rushing.
Yep.
Oh yeah, no, you're gonna have yourself a good day.
No, that's a fact. I mean, look, you got Alvin Kamara, right?
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara was out there catching 65 yards of receptions. Okay. Even David Montgomery, the other running back over there in Detroit, he had 35 yards in receptions. Like, these guys had David Montgomery had 4 receptions, by the way, for 35 yards. So it's like the running backs are very much a big part of they're a big part of the passing game. And I think that if you're in a PPR league, for sure, you should be paying attention to how many running backs that you guys have and how many receptions they're getting. What's their average reception rate? Because if you're in a league where PPR matters, those receptions add up to points, and they can really pack a punch at the end of the game.
Full point, half point, and it makes a big difference.
Yep.
Standard, not so much, but PPR, definitely.
Yeah. We're back with another episode. You know, typically we really like to go over like some of the players that stuck out to us over the weekend. Basically, before we move on, is there any other players you think really like went off this week? Like anybody that really had like a stellar?
I'll say somebody who went off. Who stood out? Marvin Harrison Jr. Welcome to the NFL, Marvin Harrison Jr.
Marvin Harrison Jr. definitely had he definitely stuck out. Honestly, hearing his name over and over again felt nostalgic.
Right? It took me back.
It felt real nostalgic. Players that surprised me this week, Ty Chandler. I didn't expect him to do anything. I was shocked to see Ty Chandler actually being mixed in the game like he was. I didn't think he was going to get the reps he got.
Especially with him, he was back up to Aaron Jones. And
Yeah.
do the same thing.
Yeah. I just didn't see the need.
Backs.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, they feel like the same player. It just felt weird. Like, but yeah, Ty Chandler getting mixed in the game was interesting. Another person that stuck out that was random to me, I was not expecting this, Devin Singletary. Again, I don't.
He was facing the Commanders.
Fuck the Giants.
He was facing the Commanders.
I'm going to say this again. Fuck the Giants.
He was facing the Commanders.
Yeah. You know, I don't care. The game was boring. All right?
Teams suck.
The game was boring. I know what I said last week, and I stand on business. I'm standing on that. The next game on the slate, we could just skip this one because fuck the Giants. The Giants and the Commanders are a boring match. I don't ever want to watch that again. It's just...
The saddest part is that those are the games where there's so many fantasy points because both teams suck.
Both teams. It was so much garbage yards because they're both garbage teams. That's one thing. You know, in fantasy points, one of the things you can look forward to when you're going against somebody is getting garbage points. There's nothing like, yes, you guys already won, but now you're just packing the stats. You know, when you have two garbage teams, all you can do is pack stats. There actually was some decent fantasy points out of there, but I stand firm in what I say. They're both garbage. Yeah, and I'm sticking to it.
And if we're gonna keep talking about surprises, hey man, we brought up Derek Carr earlier. How about Sam Darnold?
Yeah,
Mister, I'm seeing ghosts himself.
My man.
Out here going off for Minnesota 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I saw a ghost. I seen the old Sam Darnold out there. He looking healthy again.
Old Sam Darnold. Where was he ever like this?
I mean, listen, man. I mean,
he's
shit.
had opportunities. He's never looked this good.
I thought his first year he wasn't bad. He had a little bit of a buzz.
Yeah, no. Just because he was a Jet.
Had a buzz when he started, but now he's just garbage. That's what he's saying. That's what I said.
Hey, man, 30% roster rate in Yahoo. No one believes in him.
I'm tempted to pick up Sam Darnold because
I did in another league.
Brock Purdy.
I got a backup.
God, I'm not going to drop Brock Purdy because you can't drop Brock Purdy. But damn, Brock Purdy, can I get a touchdown this week? Shit. Yeah, I would say we can move on to the watch list, I guess. You know, I think we should do that, right?
Yep.
I think we covered a couple of games. So right now we're going to go over some players that you should be keeping your eye on going into the new week. We got week 3 approaching. Who are some of the players that you should be keeping your eye on? You should not add these people to your roster. I repeat, you can do what you want to do. Whatever you do with your shitty team is your decision, right? But I would not add these players to your roster yet unless you really want to take the chance and, you know, you want to try to buy low, you can. But I would suggest keeping these people on your watch list. If you have an asterisk, if you go to your fantasy team, if you look on your waiver wire, just put an asterisk of watch this person. Do not add them to your team. Okay? Now, welcome to the watch list.
I'll kick it off. A lot of people are going to be rushing out to pick up this guy because he had a big game, and that is Quentin Johnston from the Chargers.
Yes.
Here's the thing. He's a second-year player, and last season he really didn't show much. Well, he showed a lot of dropping ability, but he didn't really show much. But now he has a lot of opportunity with the Chargers this season. He had a big breakout with 2 touchdowns last game. I don't know if it's really sustainable. And then with that team currently, with Greg Roman being the offensive coordinator, former offensive coordinator of the Baltimore Ravens, they've been really run heavy. So that's why it's just the only options I would say.
Quentin Johnston's always been a boomer bust in the past. He's never been somebody that's been reliable, in my eyes at least.
Yeah, so that's what I say. He's just definitely a watch. He's definitely a watch right now. Definitely a watch. Let's see if it goes anywhere, because they really don't have anybody else to throw to out there in San Diego. I mean, almost said San Diego. Los Angeles for the Chargers.
I would say all right, so another reason I probably wouldn't trust him as well Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Do you know what his updated status is right now?
I don't know what's going on.
I'm not sure if you saw that crazy hit that he took this weekend, but over the weekend, Justin Herbert had a wild hit where they had to take him out the game, and they weren't sure if he was going to return or if he was going to be okay to play next week. As of right now, he's still questionable. They're saying that Herbert could still undergo an MRI. He believes that, evaluation is going to continue throughout the week. But if you guys are watching, Herbert got rolled up during the second half in the game, and basically he was in a lot of pain. And basically, like right now, they're monitoring him to see if he's likely to see if there's any likeliness of him playing in week 3. But I'm not going to lie, at this point, I would stay away from Herbert, and I would stay away from Herbert's receivers. Because he's going into this game injured, and he's already kind of had a weak season as it is, I don't like any receiver on the Chargers at this point. I think you should stay away from anybody that's in that receiving core. Yep. There's always the potential for him to have a great game. And, I could understand these numbers. Quentin Johnson did put up 19 points, so that's going to, like you said, it's going to excite a lot of people. But this is not going to be a realistic, regular stat.
Especially
this is very unrealistic.
The only thing that is realistic for the Chargers right now is any running backs. J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, those are the people that you are going to play when it comes to the Chargers. Other than that,
especially if Herbert's out this week in week 3, you're definitely going to double down on J.K. Dobbins. I'm definitely starting him in any league I have him in. If I'm, Herbert. If I'm watching Herbert and I'm watching the Los Angeles Chargers. Another player that people are going to be watching, and I'm not sure if you want to take the risk on this, but Kareem Hunt. I see a lot of people going hard for Kareem Hunt. I know that basically the Chiefs have made an agreement, and they basically came to an agreement to add him to the roster.
He's currently on the practice squad.
Yeah. I don't know what people are expecting here.
If anything, I wouldn't expect to see him being serviceable until anywhere, at least the earliest, by week 4, week 5. So not even in the media. So definitely watch.
So if you're adding him to your team right now, you're not expecting him to start. You're just you're expecting him to just basically be there. Personally, did Hunt play last year? I feel like he was in.
He was in for the Cleveland for a little bit, and then.
Did he go to Cincinnati last? Did he go to Kansas City last year?
Not last year.
I thought he was in Kansas last year. Well, while you look up that, right? One thing that I'm worried about with Kareem Hunt is this: Kareem Hunt's on the older side. 29. When it comes to running backs, he's 29 years old. Okay, Kareem Hunt just turned 29. So, at this point, you're dealing with someone who's kind of like not a veteran, but he's not the youngest spring chicken either. Like, he's not gonna be somebody that's gonna give you a robust amount of yards. He's not gonna be a starting running back here.
In his time with the Browns last season.
Yeah.
135 attempts, only 411 yards.
Yeah, it's
3-yard average per attempt.
You're not really getting any middling running back numbers here.
He had 9 touchdowns, but that's about it.
That's actually not bad. 9 touchdowns is considerable, but I feel like
short yardage.
Yeah. and at that point, you're a boomer bust. You're praying that he gets a touchdown every week. He's gonna be a goal line, like he's gonna be a vulture. You know. You're praying that he takes that vulture position where he basically hopes and prays that the other running backs get them up the field, and then he just catches that 1 or 2 touchdowns. I'm not expecting much out of Kareem Hunt. If anybody adds Kareem Hunt, they're doing it purely off of nostalgia. You're doing it because of what you used to see him do in the Browns, and I can't blame you, but that is not who he is today. So all I would say is this is the watch list because we want you to be careful. Weather your expectations when it comes to Kareem Hunt.
And honestly, the one to pick up or even watch for that team is going to be Carson Steele.
Yeah.
That
Definitely.
seems to be what everybody's pushing towards. Is going to be Carson Steele.
Definitely.
Because I say Pacheco's out for 6 to 8 weeks. So you go look at.
Okay. Another player I would say you could add to your watch list. I'm not sure if this is somebody that's even worth rostering at this point, but you can make that decision. Jahan Dotson. Jahan Dotson didn't really do much in the game yesterday.
I disagree. I wouldn't even watch him.
Don't even watch him?
I don't. It doesn't seem that the Eagles have any plans for him. If you don't get any real looks with A.J. Brown being out and you're opposite Devontae Smith, they have nothing for you. They really don't.
I understand. I mean, yeah, you're right. And it was a competitive game that they lost to Atlanta. So, I mean, I don't know why they didn't use him more.
And he's a good player. I'm not going to front on him. He is a good player. He won me a league last year. So I was looking forward to him being on the Eagles because I figured that Jalen Hurts is a better player. But I don't know. They're just not using him.
Yeah. I would still keep an eye on him personally. Again, because he's such a new player. I think he's a rookie, if I'm not mistaken. He's
Third
not?
year.
Third year?
Yep.
Shit, I'm losing it.
Yep. 2 years on the Commanders, my friend.
2 years in the Commanders? Sheesh. Yeah. Harry promised that one.
Yep. Third year.
Yeah. All right. You know what? I actually stand corrected. I agree with you. I think that this is actually way too early for anyone to be thinking about Jahan Dotson. I think that you're right. If they had this close game and they need to rely on passing and he's only gotten, he didn't get any action, that means he's not going to be viable. You had a chance right here to fill in the slot. That was big importance. You got A.J. Brown out the game. You have a very huge need at the wide receiver position, and you were barely relied on. I think that it might be a long time before we see significance out of Dotson. I actually picked him up as a speculative ad just to see what he does, and that was something that I'm not regretful of because there was no room for my bench for Hollywood Brown, who's also
he's out for the season now.
Out for the season. So after I dropped Hollywood Brown, I said, you know what? Jahan Dotson's game was Monday night. Let me see if he actually does something while AJ's out. He did nothing. Done nothing.
It was laid out for him to do something.
It was. So I think this watch list was just a little bit of my own bias because I was like, damn, I hope he does something so it wasn't a waste of my time. But I'm probably dropping him too. I don't think I have any space for that garbage on my team. Sorry. Yeah, he's not on the watch list. He's on the not list.
Now, for me, if you're looking at somebody for a watch list, I got two from the same team.
Oh, go ahead. Let me hear it.
Either Ray-Ray McCloud or Darnell Mooney.
Ooh.
Because
Mooney is definitely a watch lister.
We had 2 weeks straight, Ray-Ray McCloud, 7+ targets.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's clearly involved.
Yeah.
And he had a good game last week. He had a big game last week.
Yeah.
And then Mooney showed up, 2 touchdowns. So
Mooney is somebody that he had. Again, Chicago didn't use him right. So it's now that he's got a new team.
And a better quarterback.
I love when I see players get a chance, a second chance, like a rebirth. I don't think a lot of people, again, the same thing that we were talking about earlier when it came to, Baker Mayfield. I think the same thing applies here. Watching Darnell Mooney, I've heard his name for years, and I'm like, I don't get it. What is everyone talking about? The big playability. They always brought him up. His size and everything was just always a factor. Never seen it.
But when you got Justin Fields throwing you the ball.
Yeah, big difference. Big difference.
But now, and I think every week I think every week now.
I know.
Every week.
I know.
I think that every week that Kirk Cousins plays now, he's getting better. He's getting healthier. So you're just going to see him, the offense is going to get much better in Atlanta. I want a piece of that. So that's why I say Ray-Ray McCloud or Darnell Mooney would be a perfect pick up to watch and see what's going on with them.
Yeah, Atlanta's a sneaky pick right now.
They have a good quarterback that's known to put up numbers. So.
Man. Somebody that I think you should add to the watch list after this week for sure. My boy brought up Braylon Allen. I would keep an eye on Braylon Allen.
I would as well.
Because if you're telling me that the backup can put up numbers like this while the front running back is still putting up numbers, that is a committee I want a piece of.
That part.
Running backs, let me explain this. Running backs are not easy to come by. So as much as I'm saying watch list this young man, I would actually put him as a speculative ad. where I keep an eye on him on my bench. Because I don't even know if I trust him being available too long.
Oh, no, he's not.
Because people are going to eat this kid. Pause. Don't do that. You know what I meant.
I'm a child.
You know what I meant.
I'm a child.
They're going to eat this kid up, man. Nah, you're not going to get a chance after this week. Add him now. I would say add him now.
Add him now.
I would even say, but I mean, he's in the watch list because he really shouldn't. You shouldn't jump the gun like this off of 1 week. But for a running back, yeah, add him now. Add this motherfucker.
You're gonna hate because you're gonna hate it.
You're gonna hate the chance you had and you didn't get. Add him now.
Especially with Breece Hall's injury history, that's an elite corner.
Add him now.
That is an elite handcuff to have.
Yep. I guess we could do one more before we jump into the weeks.
All right, I got another one, and it's for tight ends. You know, the other barren wasteland of a position.
Yeah, we need to just delete this. Next year, we're not doing tight ends in the league. Fuck that position.
So I would say either out of the big games, either Hunter Henry or Mike Gesicki had.
Yo, Hunter Henry was looking good.
Yes.
Hunter Henry was looking. Yo, honestly, I gotta be honest with you. Hunter Henry was looking like the old Hunter Henry out there. I was really shocked at how well the Patriots were moving the ball with him.
I just don't know how many times you're going to see him get 15 targets in one game. But Jacoby Brissett does like to throw it to the tight ends.
He does.
As long as Jacoby Brissett is playing, Hunter Henry is viable.
Now, did Jacoby Brissett get injured in that game? Am I mistaken?
Let's see. Because then if that has Drake May coming in. No, Jacoby Brissett is healthy.
All right. Well, listen, man, that was the watch list. If you guys have any idea of any of these guys that we spoke about, like I said, these are just our opinions. You can do with that what you will. You don't have to just watch them. You can add them if you want. But I was just saying, some of these guys, it might be too early to do that. Some of these guys, you might be actually a little too late. Hopefully you catch them in time. But yeah, I guess moving on, we're going to go right into the next part of our show where we talk about the waivers. And yeah, this is the waiver wire. That's right. Nah, we can't even. That man got indicted this week. Hey.
The diddler's down.
The diddler.
The
diddler's been arrested. Yeah, welcome to the waiver wire part of the show. This is the part of the show where we go into this week's games. Week 3 is upon us. We're going to tell you who you need to be keeping an eye on, who you need to be trying to add to your team before this week's games start up. A lot of these guys are probably already picked up. If you're in the 12-team league like us, chances are you're scraping at the bottom for a tight end and praying for a quarterback to get injured so you can get somebody else.
Or a 16-man like I am in my other league.
That right there is just that's for the real drug users.
I won this league twice, by the way. You all are on notice. Don't let me do it again.
Oof, talk about it. Talk your shit, Ness. But shit, Ness, I think I'm going to let you lead us down this category. You can go ahead, take us down week 3. Let's talk about it. Let's see what we got ahead.
Well, with week 3, the Thursdays, we already talked about a couple players that are in this game already with New York and New England on Thursday. So we already talked about it. Basically looking over for Braylon Edwards or or Hunter Henry. Those are the two people that you really should look at to pick up. Speculative ad, Mike Williams.
Yep.
Speculative ad, because Mike Williams is just getting healthier and healthier after coming off the ACL. He's going to be used as a deep threat.
Yeah, I could dig that. Shoot. Yeah, like, you know, we just talked about Braylon Edwards again. I don't really want to go down that rabbit hole again. We broke it down in the watch list, but again, anyone who's a backup running back putting up numbers like that, you want a piece of that on your team, even if it's as a speculative ad, just to watch and see what he does and if he does it again. Yeah, I would definitely make sure. Yeah, Hunter Henry, tight ends are hard to find.
Premium.
They're very hard to find. So if you can get a tight end off of the waivers right now, I would suggest you do so ASAP. How what's his roster rate right now on Yahoo?
On Yahoo, his roster rate currently is, I think I saw 25%.
Yeah, you should definitely get your hands on him before it's too late. You probably have very little time as it is, but Hunter Henry, get him now.
Yeah, because I would out of the two of Mike Gesicki and Hunter Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Gesicki, I don't know. It's Cincinnati. They got too many mouths to feed.
Too many.
And Chase was a little upset last game, so they might force feed him. And then Higgins might be coming back. So.
Yeah, I saw Chase had a little bit of a. He was wilding in the game a little bit there. He had a little issues with the refs.
He's a little upset. He's tired of being used as a decoy.
I feel like they cost him the game though.
Yeah. Cooler heads need to prevail. All right. Now we're gonna start with the 1 o'clock games on Sunday. The early slate. Do you want to talk about the Giants in Cleveland?
I don't know. You know how I feel about the Giants. Fuck the Giants. You know how I feel about the Giants. Yo, why the fuck would... Who's all right, honestly, last week we were giving Roger Goodell credit, so I don't want to shit on him this week. But I feel like the Giants are getting some easy fucking games, and I don't like it. Like, you got the Giants versus the Commanders last week. You got the Giants versus... They lost. They lost. You got the Giants versus the Vikings, which I'm pretty sure they thought were going to be shitty this year because of Sam Darnold and everything. But they were way better than anyone expected. 28-6 that first week. And then, yeah.
Hey, that's a team that was winning with Josh Dobbs.
True. So I feel like the Giants are just getting the late. I mean, honestly, their schedule is like the NFL equivalent of living a soft life. I would say the Giants' schedule doesn't look that challenging, but
I wouldn't call Cleveland's defense a soft life. But...
you're right. I stand corrected. You're right. Because Cleveland's defense has been showing up this year. I don't have anything to say about their bullshit ass quarterback. Yeah. But their defense has been keeping them in the games. Can't front.
Cleveland, a.k.a. Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson sucks, but the Cleveland defense has been doing their thing. And I think that New York loses again. I see a prediction here. New York loses again. Yeah. Yep, definitely.
All right. Well, moving right along. There's no point to talk about any players because you already know who's going to be played. It's the Malik Nabers. That's it.
The Nabers. And he's not on your waivers. So
there's no point even really talking about it.
Nothing to talk
about here. All right. Green Bay and Tennessee. This should be an interesting match. I swear to God.
Oh, man.
Will Levis and his love of the shuffle pass is going to be the death of me.
Yeah. That shuffle pass isn't it.
I don't know why he has a aversion to using the shuffle pass. Yeah. Just take the sack. Just take the sack.
Do you think that he's Do you think that he lacks confidence, Will Levis? 'Cause I feel like something.
I think he has all the confidence in the world.
Well, why is it that he's just like? Well, that's probably why he's doing shuffle passes.
That's why he's doing dumb shit.
He's doing too much, right?
Yeah, exactly. He has too much confidence. He knows that like the organization's behind him, so he's just like, let me just do this. If you saw the play that he pulled in week 2, which was basically the same thing with the shuffle pass in this one, but he like jumps forward through the block and then tosses the ball, causes the pick six. When he's going to the sideline, the coach, you can read his lips. He said, "What the fuck are you doing?" Mike Callahan is usually such a calm, quiet coach, and you saw the fire in him at that moment.
He's probably, what the fuck is he doing right now? He's fucking up right now. You're ruining my.
And all I know is, I swear to God, if the Titans manage to find a way to lose to Malik Willis,
oh yeah,
their former quarterback.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I did want to mention this. I didn't mention this. If you were looking for someone to pick up off the waivers, for the New York Giants game, if you can get your hand on the Browns defense, I'm sorry.
That is, you know what? You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. Browns defense.
Is the one. That's the one you can play. Also.
Yeah. If you can get your hand on the Cleveland Browns defense, definitely do that. Definitely pick them up because.
They're about to put up points.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones is going to he's going to cause turnovers.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's guaranteed. definitely going to be a play this week for them.
Mm-hmm.
Giants suck.
Yeah, the Giants are trash. I'm sorry. Now you were saying Malik Willis?
Yes. For the love of God, please do not let the Titans lose to Malik Willis.
I don't see the Titans losing to Malik Willis. I mean, Love got injured last week, right? Was it week 2?
Yeah, week 1. He got hurt week 1.
And the Packers...
They won last week.
They won this week, right?
Yep. Malik Willis threw his first touchdown pass of his NFL career. Of his 4-year.
I was shocked. I was shocked to see that, honestly. I don't see... Yeah, I don't think there's anybody I can see here that really excites me.
I mean, for that would it be like an ad or no? Because when it comes to Green Bay, it's Josh Jacobs and Jaden Reed.
Yeah,
those are the 2 players that you're going to play when it comes to Green Bay.
I would say if you want to play anybody in Green Bay, I wouldn't mind picking up Green Bay's defense. If you want to stream somebody this week from Green Bay, I know this seems to be my trend for today, but I would stream their defense. Right now, they're rostered in about 16% of the leagues in Yahoo. They didn't do bad last week. I think they gave a pretty good game. They got a couple of sacks. They're on 5 interceptions on the year. Their secondary is playing solid defense.
Will Levis loves to throw picks, so hey.
Yeah, I think this is a match made in heaven. Like their defense, Will Levis. You can't go wrong. I mean, Tennessee's running game is completely not the same.
But Tony Pollard is still putting up numbers.
Think so?
Yeah, Tony Pollard still having a good.
Maybe it's because I have Tajay on my bench.
Yep.
I've probably been studying.
Tony Pollard is the starter.
Yeah.
He's the lead back, so they've been using him more, and Tajay's just been used as a change of pace.
Yeah.
And third down back.
Yeah. Yeah, but Green Bay defense, that's about all I can see.
Mm-hmm. And from the Titans side, Calvin Ridley, Tony Pollard, those are the players I would play.
Yep. Bears versus the Colts. Ooh.
You know what? I see your Green Bay defense. I'll raise you Titans defense. Just because it's Malik Willis. Just because it's Malik Willis. I have no faith in Malik Willis.
I have more faith in the Packers defense. The Titans are 0-2 right now.
I have no faith in Malik Willis. I think they're going to attack the hell out of him.
I like the way this sounds. I wish there was a waiver we can do. I wish there was a wager we can do to, like, put on the next show for this one. Like, which defense puts up more points, right? That's it.
Bragging rights.
Yeah. 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 Oh, man. I'm not even going to take this bet because I lose. You know why? Because I was like, you know what? Loser needs to buy the other one a jersey for that team. Like, if you lost, it doesn't have to be now. It could be down anywhere from now to Christmas. You got to buy a Packers jersey. But I'm not buying you a Titans jersey. You're a fan. This is a lose-lose. I'm not even a Packers fan. I hate this whole entire idea now. So we're going back right over to the Bears. The Bears versus the Colts. What are we dealing with now? We got the Bears versus the Colts. How you see this game going?
I can see Indianapolis winning this game.
Yeah.
Because they have a good defense, and as long as you keep pressuring this rookie quarterback, Caleb Williams is going to be something over time, but he ain't shit right now.
Yo, I don't think there's any good. I mean, there's only like a handful of good quarterbacks right now in the NFL. This sucks.
It really is. It's bad.
I said it before. There's a reason why I feel like the running backs are like the new dolls of the bowl. Like, there's really not a lot of great QBs right now, and in effect, there's not a great amount of wide receivers right now going off.
It's really showing like how disrespectful it is, how the way they treat the running back position with the way they pay them.
Yo,
and they're like the workhorse of the entire
They're the workhorse. Team. Every team.
They run them down and pay them pennies.
It's embarrassing. But I digress. I digress.
We're not going to do.
We're not going to go down the rabbit hole. Yeah. How do you see this game going? We got the Bears versus the Colts. Is there anybody on any of these teams that you think should be a spec?
Josh Downs for Indianapolis.
Josh Downs is not on any waivers, man. I don't even know why we mention him anymore. This nigga is like a starter. He's
been hurt for 3 weeks.
He's been hurt. But what's Josh Downs' real percentage rate at this point? I'm just looking at it like, see, Josh Downs.
21%.
Get the fuck out of here. Are you serious?
You had him on your team last year. You knew how well he was. That's why you figured it.
Yo,
no,
people
sir.
Wait a minute.
No.
All right. Wait, you mean to tell me you're still sleeping on Josh Downs? Are you guys stupid?
Because he hasn't played all season yet. That's why.
This is crazy.
It's because he hasn't played all season.
The people, they haven't been paying attention.
No, not at all.
What? I don't even know what's going on anymore. I mean, I know we're not the only ones that watched fantasy football last year. How is anyone who played fantasy before this year leaving Josh Downs available on the waiver wire? You got Alec Pierce at a higher rate at this point.
But that's because
he's playing. He's playing. You know what? You're right. I'm being biased because I know how good he is.
Yeah. That part.
It just... I'll pick him up. I wish I could, but my league is full of vultures.
Yes,
okay? They're picking all the meat off of carcasses. We have nothing left. Okay? I got nothing. I'm in a bind, Nate. I'm in a bind. I got nothing.
I got nothing, Nate.
Got nothing. Yeah. Wow. Did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, but when he comes back, though, Alec Pierce?
Yeah, because he's barely done anything exciting, I feel. You know?
If it wasn't for Anthony Richardson just having a cannon of an arm and tossing it out there,
yeah,
Alec Pierce would not even be on anybody's radar.
Yeah.
Because he's been on that team for a couple of seasons and he's done jack squat.
Man, I really can't imagine adding anybody else from this.
And then Chicago
game.
Chicago's they have a good offense on paper. They just gotta get it together.
I don't see anybody.
They just gotta get it together until Caleb Williams gets together. None of the wide receivers are viable.
Yeah, I don't see any.
Yeah, DeAndre Swift is not really viable. Yeah, no, this is gonna be a disgusting week.
Yeah.
I
don't see anybody else to add here. I'm not even gonna lie. I wish I could give y'all more, but there's just nothing else to give. You can't drain water from a rock. The Texans versus the Vikings.
That's a good game.
That's gonna be a great game. The Vikings and the Texans. The Vikings gave us a great game last week against the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
They beat the 49ers in a very respectable game. I think we just start with the most obvious here, Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Honestly, we were saying this has kind of been a theme. This has kind of been a theme here for the episode. There's not really a lot of great quarterbacks at this point. It's a very big toss-up in the league. So if you can get your hands on Sam Darnold, I think that might be a wise choice just to get a backup quarterback. If you don't know if your quarterback's going to hold it down for the season, there's not a lot of replacements. So I would actually consider.
Because you know a bye week coming.
So bye weeks are coming.
Quarterback for the bye week.
I highly recommend having a backup quarterback this year because there's not a lot of good waiver pickups that you can just slide on.
Plenty of weapons.
Yeah.
Between Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Aaron Jones.
Yep.
And then we have the arrival of Jalen Naylor.
Yep.
Yeah, they've got plenty of people to pick from.
That's right. And Sam Darnold, he's available in over 14% of your Yahoo leagues. At this point, he's put up over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns in the last 2 games consistently. I like those numbers. I actually think that's something to start with. Unfortunately, he does throw some interceptions, and that's where we kind of we do have to weather our expectations a little bit with him, but there's a lot of good that's available here, and it's still a lot of development with this team. So I think by the end of the season, you're going to see this machine get more well-oiled. They're going to be a lot more familiar with each other. We're still early in, y'all. So I would say with a lot of these guys, give them some time. You're going to see the real potential as the season develops.
Yep. Yeah. And then with Houston speaks for itself. It's C.J. Stroud. It's Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, and Joe Mixon.
Yeah. Now, again, these names are not available in most of your leagues. So I would say don't look for these names. Don't bother going to the waiver for them. They're not going to be found.
If it's Houston, yeah, that most likely got picked up already.
Yeah. I would say the only person that you might find from Houston is, unfortunately, the person that I just let go of this week, and that's
Dalton Schultz.
I probably need to pick him back up. Reason being, I don't really know how to measure this. Like, Dalton Schultz is on a team that has a lot of competition for receptions, so the likeliness of him having a weekly respectable game is unlikely. Like, he's not going to be able to be consistent. There's way too many mouths to feed over there in Houston, so we really don't recommend rostering Dalton Schultz. If you are desperate at tight end, I completely get rolling the dice, because at this point, why the fuck not?
Let's be real. Who's not desperate at tight end?
I mean, that's what I
Brock Bowers and George Kittle owners.
Yeah.
The only people that are not in any way scared.
Look.
Kelsey,
I'm embarrassed to say who I'm thinking about picking this week, because it's so bad. When we get to that game, I'll let you know who that embarrassed player is. But yeah, this is what we're dealing with. The tight end position is a shit show this year, and I hope you have a fucking smock. I hope you have on some overalls and some gloves, because it's gonna get really messy in here. Just want to give you a heads up.
All right, and now moving along, we got Philly versus New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a big game that we didn't expect to be a big game.
Oh yeah.
Let's see, Philly and the Saints. I'm looking forward to this game. I think that it's going to be a blowout, because I'm not going to say a blowout, I should say a shootout, because both Philly and New Orleans offenses are able to put up some big numbers. I expect to see some big things from Rashid Shaheed.
Mm-hmm.
And now the big question mark is, like we talked about before, is going to be Jahan Dotson, because it looks like AJ Brown's going to be out for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And if they don't end up putting this kid, like involving him in any way in the league, end up involving him in the passing game, I don't know. What was the point of even trading for him?
I don't know. I think that they're probably slowly. This is why I say he's a speculative watch for me too, because I still feel like that. I think I added him just to see, and again, he is filling in a role that's already kind of like prepared for AJ Brown. They, like you said, they just traded for Jahan Dotson. So when I look at Jahan Dotson and the Eagles, I see somebody that's a new receiver that hasn't been acclimated yet. Doesn't mean that he can't get acclimated, but you might be sitting down for a long time waiting to see if that happens, and that might not happen. And I don't know if you have the patience to sit through that while you wait for your season to fix itself. Like, I don't have that patience. If you are deep at wide receiver, I can definitely understand you rostering someone like him as a speculative ad. But if you don't have a lot of stock in wide receiver, you should probably spend that position on someone who can return your investment right away. And I don't think that's Jahan Dotson right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And outside of him, basically everybody else on the Eagles is going to be highly already acquired and rostered. You know, your Saquon Barkley's, your Devontae Smith's, Dallas Goedert's, and Jalen Hurts.
Okay. On the New Orleans side, if you're looking for a tight end, again, this is going to be a large part of our conversation today.
Juwan Johnson.
Johnson is somebody that I would say is a speculative ad. Foster Moreau, again, somebody that's worth monitoring. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard to really measure their target share when it comes to this team, because Foster Moreau had 4 targets week 1 and a touchdown, and then he got nothing the second week. I'm not sure if there was any injuries or anything, but it seems like there was no targets at all in week 2. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't think Foster Moreau was targeted this game because of the fact that he went in with a concussion protocol.
Okay.
I think that they were trying to limit his snaps or limit his involvement because of what happened last week going into the match. So I think that Foster Moreau is still somebody I think could be used in the future. He's only 4% rostered, so I don't think you have to rush to pick him up right now. But this is the tight end position, so you never know. Anything can happen.
So Alvin Kamara just went off.
Yeah, Alvin Kamara went the hell off.
He took it back for like 4 or 5 seasons.
Yep. Good luck finding him on the waivers, but he definitely was going off. If you have him on your team, you're definitely starting him next week as well. You're not going to be benching Alvin Kamara at any time this season after that match. New Orleans, and of course, the most obvious, Derek Carr. I mean, again, I don't think he's available anymore after the week 1 that he had. But there's a possibility he still might be available in your league. So
I'm sure
if you are able to get your hands on Derek Carr, I would definitely snatch him up this week. I would say after this week, you're more than likely not going to get Derek Carr ever again. He's still rostered in only 21% of Yahoo leagues, but I'm pretty sure this changes after the waiver goes through on Wednesday morning. So keep in mind, he's only gotten 5 touchdowns on the year, and he's gotten over 200 yards in the last 2 games. That sounds familiar. It sounds like the last stats I just gave you for the other gentleman who basically had 5 touchdowns for the year and actually about 2. And that's Sam Darnold. A lot of people don't realize how good Sam Darnold's actually playing. Sam Darnold's giving you the same numbers that Derek Carr is giving you. The only thing that's different is Sam Darnold's throwing more interceptions.
He doesn't look as pretty.
And he doesn't look as neat doing it. It looks ugly. But I'm sorry to stretch away from this game, but I just want to make sure that sinks in for people, that Sam Darnold is actually putting up some decent numbers. You don't need to leave him on the waivers.
It may not be pretty, but it's effective.
Pick him up. I'm sorry. But Derek Carr, definitely, for this game, definitely need to add him to your game.
All right. Pittsburgh versus the Chargers.
Woo, 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 woo! Let's go! 2-0, baby!
Who saw this?
Yeah, man. I didn't. I hate the way that our team looks. I hate our quarterback situation, but, when in Rome, right? Piss on the wall. I don't know.
Speaking of the wall, Greg Roman, what is he going to
do? Greg Roman. Is there anybody that I would pick up on the Steelers? I would definitely start with Pat Freiermuth. I think Pat Freiermuth would be a good add. Again,
tight end, baby.
Tight end, man. Listen, you know what we're dealing with here. There isn't a lot of help when it comes to tight end. So you got to get what you can. Right now, Pat Freiermuth is the starting tight end for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's not putting up amazing numbers, so don't hold your breath. All right, he's only giving you about 25 to 40 yards a game so far, only 4 receptions on average. You're dealing with Justin Fields at quarterback. He hasn't thrown the ball that well, so luckily he does check down to Pat Freiermuth often enough. If you're looking for a tight end with just a decent floor without a high ceiling, Pat Freiermuth's your guy. It's almost like, hey, you got some money, you want to get some food that's not that good but it's satisfying. He's like, he's like the dollar menu. You're not going to get a Big Mac here. Nope. It's too late. You should have did that in the draft. But you got, you can get you a double cheeseburger. He's like a McChicken. It ain't going to fill you up, but get the job done. Get you something.
Christ, your wide receivers are ass. I'm just looking outside of George Pickens. Good God,
it's bad.
It's disgusting.
Watkins,
Van Jefferson, Scotty Miller.
It's bad. It's
bad. y'all need this rookie Roman Wilson to step up.
I don't know if it's him or if it's the fact that we're dealing with
Justin Fields.
Like, I think we would see him step up had we had a decent.
Yeah, Russell.
Decent quarterback. What we got here? Like
Steelers country. Let's ride.
Please. Please, don't bring that man up. I hate our quarterbacks. I hate all of them.
He's going to start eventually.
And I'm going to hate him then. I don't want to see it happen. But yeah, the Steelers wide receivers aren't that crazy. Like, honestly, you know.
I think we've already shit on the Chargers earlier enough. The only 2 people you're going to play there are Dobbins and Edwards.
Yeah, I mean, Pickens is the only person you're playing on the Steelers, really, or Harris. Mm-hmm. Harris got 139 yards. They are making use of their running backs. Pickens, you're going to start Pickens and Harris, Mm-hmm. Again, if these are guys you have on your team, you're definitely starting J.K. Dobbins. You're definitely starting Johnson. J.K. Dobbins, man.
Hey, man.
Listen.
He's shown that
Listen.
ability with Baltimore. It's just that
He's having that.
he could never stay healthy in Baltimore. But
Yeah.
to be honest, not many running backs in Baltimore the past few seasons were able to remain healthy.
He's having a resurgence, and I likes it.
Mm-hmm. I like it. I like it a lot.
I likes it a lot. What else? What we got next on the slate?
Tampa and
Denver. You know you gotta get with.
Tampa Bay gonna win this.
Listen, man, I'm not gonna say it again. Baker Mayfield. If you got him available, get him now. It's almost too late if you don't got him.
Yep. And outside of that, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, they're gonna go off. They're gonna have a good game against Denver. I don't expect much from Denver. Bo Nix, you have a lot to learn, young man.
A lot.
And your receivers can't get separation. Cortland Sutton's been a dud this year.
Yeah, it's sad to see Sutton's drop off this year. That's actually something that I know. Next week, I think we're going to start talking about speculative drops. I think that it's too early to say that this week.
Yeah.
Week 2, I kind of hate seeing it. I see these guys with these blogs now that are doing the ad drops already, and I'm like, how do you know this already? Like, unless you have like a guy who's injured for the year and you're done. How do you really drop a player this early in the season? It's just
too small of a sample size.
I don't know. It's too small.
But a kid that I would watch from this game, I would watch Jalen McMillan. He's a rookie out of for Tampa Bay. He's a wide receiver.
Jalen McMillan, the rookie wide receiver.
Definitely watch him.
Yeah,
definitely watch him.
Yeah. Another ad. Again, these are things that people need to factor in. We're not just covering players; we're covering every position. Tampa Bay's defense. Listen, Denver's not a strong team
at all.
Let's just start there. All right, Denver is one of the bottom barrel teams of the league. So if you're dealing with Denver, you know you're going to have a good week defensively. If you're a person that doesn't have a strong defense, I would be streaming defenses every week based on the weakest teams. Mm-hmm. I would definitely stream Tampa Bay's defense this week against Denver. Tampa Bay has been giving they haven't been giving you a great amount of games, honestly. They've only gotten like 3 to 5 points, for the last 2 weeks. So I know it's not really stellar defense, but given that they're facing Denver, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit more optimistic with their defense this week.
Mm-hmm. And like I said last week, with Denver, I'm only watching Devaughn Vele.
Devaughn Vele, for sure.
I'm only watching Vele.
Yeah,
that's really it. Vele. Maybe Josh Reynolds, but I'm mainly just watching Vele.
Yeah.
Other than that, Greg Dulcich. Since we want to talk about tight ends, Greg Dulcich. He's somebody I would watch because for whatever reason in his short career, he has been serviceable for the Denver Broncos when healthy.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. If you saw Sutton on the bench on the waivers, you wouldn't pick him up?
Sutton? No.
Why?
No. Just because with the opportunity that he's been getting, he hasn't done anything with it.
Yeah, he's got 16 targets this year. That's a lot.
It's a lot, but he hasn't done anything with it, and he can't get separation. That's it. It's a piece of an offense I want no parts in.
Yeah. You're right. You can't complain with that. You're absolutely right. Man. Yeah, I don't think I see anybody else here that I could see. I mean, Dulcich, like you said. I mean, tight ends, you always need it. I wouldn't mind chancing it. Like right now, if you have any tight end that you feel could be worth a speculative add them because you just don't know anymore. These teams aren't really giving you a lot to work with, and it's a position that's honestly, it's very weak this year.
As it is just about every year.
Very weak this year.
All right, Carolina and Vegas.
Oof.
All right, big news coming out of Carolina. Bryce Young has been benched.
Yeah, it needed to happen.
We're going with the Red Rock here.
Yes,
Andy Dalton.
Bring him back. That's right.
Hey,
bring him back.
Hey, guess what? Carolina's receiver is actually viable again.
Yeah. If you have anybody that you can pick up in Carolina as a receiver right now, I'd be targeting them. I'd be aiming for anyone Carolina right now.
Especially Xavier Legette.
Xavier Legette is somebody I would definitely add.
The head coach has already spoken highly of Xavier Legette after week 1.
Yeah.
They didn't use him in week 2, but is that really his fault or the person who was trying to give him the ball?
Nope.
So I would say that Xavier Legette, expect big things for him if Andy Dalton is the one that's going to be throwing him the ball for the rest of the season. Because last season, in the one start that Andy Dalton had with with Carolina, he threw for over 300 passing yards and like 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It was like the best offensive game they had all season last year. So,
and that's the thing with Andy Dalton too. I mean, hopefully, if you're picking up Andy Dalton, you're not looking for him to be your starting quarterback. You're looking for him to be a speculative, like, backup quarterback. Like, this is somebody to help you when those bye weeks come to make sure that you're still able to win leagues. 'Cause a lot of people don't realize, like, bye weeks aren't the time to start thinking about picking up those players. Now is the time. You want to start thinking about your subs now. Strategizing about those off weeks, those bye weeks, making sure your players are not all sharing the same weeks, so you're not stuck with just having empty weeks, or
that's when the fun begins.
Is what it is. Now, I would say this about Andy Dalton: he's a great passer. However, he's not a great leader. No. Andy Dalton never really has been someone who's built chemistry with his teams. He's always been just like a mechanic. He just comes in and fixes shit. You gotta just let him come in, throw the ball around, pack stats.
Hey, outside of those years with the Bengals, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Hey, this is but hey, like I said before, this is going to raise the ceiling of every other pass catcher in that team.
Yep.
Now, to the opposite side with the Vegas Raiders, Jacoby Myers, Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
And then running back wise, it's not really pretty.
It's not.
I need to see some more from Zamir White.
I would agree. If they didn't add Andy Dalton this week, even though they're adding Andy Dalton this week, I'm still going to say it would be a smart idea to pick up the Las Vegas defense. As much as we did add, the fact that Andy Dalton is somebody who's an arm, this is his first week for the season. I know he was on the team last year, right?
Yep.
It's
a different OC,
different head coach. So it's like basically it's a system that's changing. So I would say weather expectations for this first week with Andy Dalton. He's going to be somebody that does pick up the pace as the weeks go by. But because this is the first week he's in there, I wouldn't mind starting the Las Vegas defense against them. I think that might be it might be a worthwhile pickup. Las Vegas defense, again, they haven't been doing amazing either. Las Vegas is now 1-1. They did go against the Chargers and Baltimore, and those are two really high-scoring teams, even though the Chargers game wasn't that high-scoring.
Yeah. I think under Harbaugh, we can temper expectations when it comes to the Chargers.
Yeah.
They're playing very conservatively.
Yeah.
This isn't Deuce Staley. You're not airing it out no more.
But they have the best slate of games right ahead. If you guys were to pick up the Las Vegas Raiders defense right now, you have the benefit of not only getting the Carolina Panthers this week, you also get the Cleveland Browns next week and the Denver Broncos the week after that. Not to mention the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hey, I'm a Steeler fan, but I don't mind being honest with you. Our offense isn't that strong. So I wouldn't mind having the Raiders defense going up against all those teams. After week 7, it starts to get a little shady. You got the Rams, you got the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Cincinnati Bengals, and then the bye week. So I would probably shade away from them somewhere after week 7. But I would say for the next 3 to 4 weeks, you can coast on the Raiders defense for sure.
All right. So Miami and Seattle. Don't know what to expect from Miami right now without Tua.
That is so true.
Everybody's taking a hit, except for maybe Tyreek Hill, because it doesn't matter where he gets the ball. He's just going to run away from it.
I still feel bad for him. His numbers are not going to be the same. The chemistry is so different now.
Yeah. Seattle, Geno Smith. Hey, Zach Charbonnet had a big game.
Yeah.
Without Kenneth Walker being there, but Kenneth Walker is currently questionable. We'll see if he starts. But if Kenneth Walker is not able to go by Sunday, hey, man, Zach Charbonnet.
Zach Charbonnet again. Roll him right back out there.
And then, JSN, DK Metcalf. No, it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
This was a pretty easy game.
Yeah, it's really, listen, the Seahawks, it's very cut and dry.
It's very cut and dry.
You don't really got, it's not much to be wondered about here.
All right, Baltimore, Dallas.
Yes. gonna be a good game.
This should be a good game.
Should be a good
And
game.
they're playing it in Dallas.
Yeah.
Dallas is the home team again. This should be fun.
At this point, I'll be honest with you. These are two popular teams. There's not really a lot of players that are going to be available.
Yeah, nobody's really going to be
People
available.
are generally going to pick up players from their favorite teams, and Baltimore and Dallas do have two of the.
I will say this though.
Yeah.
For Dallas, watch Jalen Tolbert.
Jalen Tolbert.
The rookie.
Yeah.
He's a rookie wide receiver. I would watch him. He had 11 targets last game.
Yep.
11 targets last game.
Yep.
2% rostered. Definitely watch. And I heard that they were raving about him all preseason during training camp. So he's one. I would definitely keep your eye out for Jalen Tolbert.
Copy. Another player I would definitely keep an eye out for, Luke Schoonmaker. I hope I'm saying his name right. Schoonmaker. He's a tight end for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not sure what's going on with their other tight end, Jake Ferguson.
Yeah.
I believe he was out. If Jake Ferguson doesn't play this week, I would definitely roll Luke Schoonmaker. Hope I'm saying his name right, but fuck him. Schoonmaker. Luke Schnumanaka. Luke Schnumanaka. I'm sorry. I'm fucking your name up. But yeah. Luke. I would definitely start him this week. He's definitely somebody that, again, he's somebody that can be a viable substitute if you're not strong at tight end. Target-wise, he's got 6 targets, 43 yards last week. I mean, it's floor numbers I could live with. I'm not mad at it. All you can ask for is some decent floor numbers from your tight end anymore.
San Francisco 49ers versus the Los Angeles Rams. Ooh, the Rams is going to be very interesting because they don't have Nakua. They don't have Puka Nakua or Cooper Kupp.
The 49ers and the Rams.
So it's going to be very interesting. Speculative ads for the Chargers right now are going to be this kid Tyrell, I know it's this kid Whittington is the opposite wide receiver. Also, Demarcus Robinson, you gotta want to watch out for. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have him by now because they picked him up last week when Puka went out. But the kid, what's his name? Tyrell. Oh, I know I have him on one of my teams.
Well,
Tyler Johnson.
Tyler Johnson. Yeah.
Because he's next man up he's the next man up for the Rams. And then
I would recommend if you guys are looking to add someone off of waivers. This person's only rostered in 3% of Yahoo leagues. Not the strongest receiver right now, but he has a lot of upside. That's Jauan Jennings.
Jauan Jennings.
Oh, Jauan Jennings? Sorry, I said it like a real Hispanic. Juwan.
It's Jauan
My bad.
Jennings.
It's Juwan Jennings. Basically, he's somebody that he's gotten over the last 2 weeks. He's got 9 targets. Anytime that you tell me that Brock Purdy is targeting someone on an average of 4 or 5 times a game, especially someone in his position who's new. I know he had a nagging injury last week, so it didn't help. But I would say I would add Juwan Jennings and not start him for a few weeks just to see if he does anything.
Definitely a speculative ad because right now the
Deebo
49ers
Samuels
are out with a calf injury. So,
yeah.
So it's definitely to be looked at, especially if they're giving him those kind of targets.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely a speculative ad.
Definitely speculative. Yeah. But for me, that's all I got for San Fran. San Fran and let me see here. The Rams, I don't think I have anything. Like Blake Corum, maybe the running back. I don't know.
As Kyron Williams is still there, he's the bell cow. You just watch. He's a good handcuff. Blake Corum would be a good handcuff.
I mean, yeah. He had 8 attempts on Sunday, so I think they're starting to roll him into the game more. If you're looking for someone to fill in, again, this kid's rostered on 43% of leagues, so a lot of people have definitely picked him up as Kyron's handcuff. If you want a handcuff for Kyron Williams, pick him up.
Yeah, because eight is definitely, like 8 attempts is definitely something to look at. So it's like just watch. But Yeah, you don't go into like I don't need to really pick you up until I'm starting to see at least 15, like 12 to 15 attempts.
I feel
you know, mixing in with like passing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right, now the next game that we're gonna go over here: Arizona versus Detroit.
Oh yeah, Arizona, Detroit.
There's nothing I really talk about. We got Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. Everybody's taking Jameson Williams. Everybody's taking. Everybody's taking. The only person that probably speculative, not even. I can't even say speculative because he's not on the team anymore.
Yo. Yeah, I can't think of anybody else. Besides Zach. The Lions and the Cardinals.
Yes, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Sam Laporta. You're gonna play Sam Laporta regardless.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I like this week. It's easy.
Yeah, it's not very hard. It's very clear cut this week. It seems like the players that you know are gonna go off. It's not very hard to figure out this week. This is not. There's no like, oh, these are two good teams. No, if anything, two shitty teams.
You got a lot of like the straightforward. We know what's gonna happen.
And in shitty teams, you know which one is the shittier team, so you know which one to expect. Yeah, that's all I would expect from the Cardinals as far as waiver pickups. Lions, Cardinals, that's all we got.
And then the Sunday night game.
Yes.
Atlanta
The Falcons
versus Kansas City Chiefs.
Chiefs, yeah, man.
I don't know about primetime Kirk Cousins. We all know about primetime Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can trust primetime Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Well, Kansas City has been good defense, and I expect Pat Mahomes to do pretty well as well. Even though they're playing Atlanta, I think they're going to show out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, and I also said, I know I said, I don't know if we can trust primetime Kirk Cousins. He's still going to throw the ball.
He is, and I would definitely say,
benefit. Someone out of the three of Drake London, Ray McLeod, or Darnell Mooney are going to benefit from it. And we can't forget Kyle Pitts and help even beat John Robinson. They have a very good team.
And keep in mind, too, man, on the Kansas City side, just keep in mind that Hollywood Brown is out with injured reserve tag. So he's going to be out for the rest of the year. He's not coming back. He's sidelined with a shoulder injury.
That's why they signed Juju.
Yeah, they signed Juju because of this. He's gone. So as far as ads this week when it comes to Kansas City, I mean, again, Hunt was one of those guys that I say it's speculative if you want to add him. Another person that a lot of people are picking up is Carson Steele. Carson Steele is the immediate ad. He's somebody that you will see immediate product from this week.
Because he's getting the first crack at RB1.
Yep.
He's getting the first crack, so that everybody's going to rush out for him.
That's right. You know how Kansas City like them white boys.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about Carson Steele, so I can't even speak on how well I expect from him. But when it comes to Kansas City running backs, I really don't expect much.
No.
Isaiah Pacheco was the exception to that rule because prior to that, everybody else is just pretty much a pass catcher because rushing was trash.
It's a fact. Some people are also looking forward to Samaje Perine. I don't know why. But he's available if you want him. 6% rostered in most Yahoo leagues. Pass catching back, like Nuss said. He's getting targeted already, but maybe he sees an uptick now that there's some room. Who knows? But Samaje Perine is available on your waivers if you were to do that. It is not something that we're recommending. It's just, he's out there. So
he's available. All right, we got blessed with 2 Monday games this week.
Wow, lucky us.
Yeah. Jacksonville and Buffalo. We'll go over that first because that seems to be the better game of the two. Because I don't want to talk about you. But we have to though. I don't want to, but we'll have to. Look,
I don't know why. Maybe I'm bugging, but I see Jacksonville's defense trending online as a pickup. I don't know why they're trending.
Is it because people are probably overreacting from Buffalo's passing game last week?
Elaborate.
Well, I should say, or lack thereof.
I would say that could be it. I mean, they're not really. It seems like they don't really have an identity right now.
They really don't.
Buffalo's not really like there's. It's a wild card when it comes to their passing game, and it seems like the running game is relied more on because of it. Josh is running his ass off.
Mm-hmm. James Cook is being very effective.
Is beasting. But yeah, they're running. Their wide receivers haven't been doing anything, honestly.
I am so sad to see Keon Coleman get 0 targets. They even get looked at.
Yeah, you've been hyping him up all season.
He even get looked at.
Excuse me.
He had a good week 1 and didn't even get looked at, so maybe he should have a bounce back week this week.
Who knows? All I know is that we have nobody on the Buffalo Bills wide receiver core that I trust right now. I don't trust starting anybody in that team right now. As a wide receiver, I mean, you could roster them. I have Shaquille.
I have Keon Coleman.
Khalil Shakir. I mean, I wouldn't start anybody. I regretted starting him last week. I think it cost me my game, honestly. Yeah, but Jacksonville.
Evan Ingram cost me my week last week.
Yeah, that did happen. I don't know if you're. I mean, again, this is not something I'm recommending, but if you're interested, if you don't have a quarterback right now and you need one, if Trevor Lawrence is available, you can
possible stream.
You see what he's hitting for. He hasn't done much of anything this year. He's been very lackluster at this point.
Got his money and ran.
He's available. I don't really know how to describe this lack of production from Trevor Lawrence. It's the same team he had last year.
For the most part, outside of this losing Calvin Ridley, but for the most part, it's the same team.
It's the same team. I mean,
Evan Ingram was there last year. Christian Kirk was there last year.
I don't understand why he's playing like this.
Is Zay Jones still there?
I don't know.
No, that's pretty much all I got to say on Jacksonville versus Buffalo.
Yeah. I mean, Trevor Lawrence rostered in 74% of leagues, but he's available in ours because no one cares. Yeah.
All right. And how about this next game, the bounce back game for the Bengals?
Oh, I'm sorry. And honestly, I'm sorry. Before you go, I also would say it wouldn't be crazy to roster Buffalo's defense. Buffalo's defense is available in 65% of leagues in Yahoo.
And they put up a lot of points last week.
They put up 18 points last week. So I wouldn't, shade away from that. I would definitely consider Buffalo's defense if you're looking for a defense to put up points. I'm sorry.
So it's facing Jacksonville.
Yeah.
But the bounce back game of all bounce back games, Cincinnati versus Washington.
Oh boy.
I think the squeaky wheel is going to get greased when it comes to Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
everybody should feel fine coming after that game. Everybody should be good. Tight end wise, I was saying earlier, Mike Gesicki. Don't know.
Yeah, Gesicki's I feel like he's gonna go off eventually. I think it's only a matter of time. He had a good week last week. 9 targets is a lot of targets. And I hope that's gonna. I hope that him
granted, it's just granted that if T Higgins is still out, and then Jamar Chase is still getting double teamed, I can see that happening.
Yeah, I don't think that they're.
Okay.
I don't see anybody.
But now the opposite side.
Washington. I'll be honest with you. This is where I give you the player that I'm embarrassed about picking up, but I think I'm gonna do it.
Who would that be?
Listen, man, you know what we're dealing with. You know we have an issue here this season, and it's the lack of tight ends. It pains me to say that I'm interested in picking up Zach Ertz.
Hey, man, he's getting usage.
I know.
He's getting usage.
I know.
I'm
in a bind, Nate.
I would just temper your expectations with Zach because they have Trey McBride.
I know.
Who is basically a younger Zach Ertz.
I know.
Like, I'm not being facetious when I say that. He looks like a younger Zach.
No, I seen him. I thought it was him the other day, and I was like, wait, he's That's not Zach. It's Trey McBride. But he is a younger, better version of Zach. And Zach is basically getting bare minimum points. And honestly, as a tight end, a person that's desperate for tight ends right now, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with just giving me the bare minimum. I'm like a woman in her 50s that hasn't been married.
Oh, no, we're going there.
Just give me whatever you got. I don't care anymore.
We're going there. You're trying to get us canceled. No, you're trying to get us canceled.
If they're triggered, why are they watching this show? This isn't for you. We have a certain demographic. I thought we were giving it to our demographic. Oh, gosh. Like a scored woman. I'm just here for whatever pain you got for me. Just give it to me.
I do not agree with
give
the
me Zach
Ertz. Separate us on this.
Tight end sucked this year. It's a horrible position, man. I'm not going to lie. As commissioner, I just want to delete it. I don't want to end there next year.
Certified blockers.
Shit is crazy. These niggas are just right guards with catches. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Only person I can play with any confidence is Brian Robinson. Running back. It's the only person I can play on that team with any type of confidence. And Austin Eckler's on this team, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Any type of confidence. Any type of confidence.
Yeah.
It's Brian Robinson, because outside of that, wide receiver-wise, Terry McLaurin has not done well. He hasn't been having a good season thus far. Luke McCaffrey, he got shut out last week. He had a good week 1.
I said it last week. I'll say it again. Washington's a graveyard. I don't see anybody over here worth rostering. I need a tight end so fucking bad, it's embarrassing. I'm going to pick up Zach Ertz this week. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's available in your league. He's 8% available in most leagues. I'm just looking at him like, he's going to get the job done. He's going to do the best floor work I've ever seen. Like, look, you can go to Home Depot and hire somebody in front of them, or you can get Zach Ertz. He's going to do the best flooring you can look for.
Yeah, man. Rookie quarterbacks, they love to use their safety nets, and that is the tight end.
Yeah, it is. That's the only person I could think of, though.
Yeah.
Zach Ertz.
Yeah. Hey, man, two weeks straight of 4 receptions.
My man does better flooring than I'm telling you, the man is good. Flooring, I'm not going to say that.
You did already, though.
I'm bleeping it.
Yeah, okay, I was going to say, you are on one today.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm not here.
You are on one today.
Definitely just not here.
You came through with no nose and no coof.
Ron, where are you? I'm in a glass case of emotion.
I'm spilling my wine. Oh, man. Oh, man. Is there anybody else from this game that you think is rosterable?
No.
No? You know what that means.
Yes, sir.
We're done?
Oh, we're done.
Oh, we're done. We're done. Good job, bro. It was a good episode.
Yeah, all right.
Listen, man, we got through this one a little quicker this time. We're trying to get through it better and better every time. Honestly, I don't know what to tell you. This is the Through the Wire podcast. I'm your host, Alan A.B.
And I am Ness.
That's Ness. It's been a pleasure bringing you the stats and information this week. Look, if you started 0-2, let me tell you something. It's not too late.
Oh, it's not. You can still make it.
You can still make it. Make sure you are paying attention to these rosters. Making sure you're paying attention to these injuries. Check your lineup 5 minutes before the game. Someone gets injured.
Because you never know when somebody's going to get hurt from walkthrough.